he's absolutely a team leader, if not the team leader. And we've got a lot of good leadership on this team. Coach keeps referring to it, and he's right. The team really gets along. We got great chemistry, and Dylan definitely is. He and AJ, and along with JT and a bunch of other guys, are very responsible for that, and that makes an easy transition when it's that situation.
But all those times being thrown into the fire and getting in shortened spurts, you think that's kind of helped him? So he's not going to feel as much.
No, he's played meaningful snaps. A lot of guys, you're more concerned about it when it's a guy that maybe all he did was mop up, and then he comes in, hadn't really been in there when it's the game's on the line in those situations. Obviously, going in the Outback game on the last, drive of the game with 40 yards to go and 30 seconds clock going down, and he hits Bruce, and then start to finish. He's gotten a start to finish game, a couple years ago. So that's a little more experience than maybe some of the other guys that you've seen through the years that maybe get that opportunity. So, I don't think that he's played in big stadiums on the road and all that. So I think Dylan has handled it and will handle it in the future exceptionally.
The more you've worked with Coach Spurrier, is his longevity just as a head coach? Now, this is his second school where he's been 10-plus years. Does it impress you, or is it something that you just almost don't even think about anymore? Because for most coaches his age, everyone's asking, when are you going to retire, when are you going to retire? With him, it just seems like he can go on, go on and on.
It always impresses me. I've been impressed with him for a long time, and I go all the way back to 1990 and 91, getting to play for him, at UF, and was impressed then, and I still am today, almost 25 years later. So, no, it doesn't surprise me. I'm impressed. Just at, longevity always is impressive to me, and especially in today's world.
That's right.
And the way he handles certain situations and all that, I continue to learn every single day, and that's a good thing. We're in a fortunate position.
It looks like there's a good chance he'll end up coaching more games here than he did at Florida. Does that boggle your mind at all?
No, not at all. When you're around him every single day, you don't even think about it. Age is just a number, and it's all about how you act and how you want to be, how you want to act, and we can be young if you take care of yourself. You can be a young person for a long time in this world if you Lord willing, and you take care of yourself. And he's you don't even think about age, with him. So it wouldn't shock me if he does this for a while longer.
But when he took the job here, do you remember thinking how long you thought at that time he might jump in?
No, not really. That was 10 years ago, and of course I wasn't here, but was glad. All I know is I was glad to see him back in college football. That was my first thought when it first happened. But I never really thought about whether it would be 10 years later or would he stay for a long time or any of that. But I know that he likes it here a lot and loves this place.
Yeah, they made it a place.
He's made it home.
They made it a place that you could stay here a long time as a coach.
Yeah, absolutely. So I hope he stays a long time.
You look at some of the numbers from last year. Outside of the two teams that played in the SEC championship, you guys were right behind them in rushing attempts. And Connor had about 150-something carries, about 500 yards. When you do the math, are you trying to make that up somewhere, or do you think just the natural progression of the offense will work itself out?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Every year is a different year, and guys play different. But the offense itself as a base offense doesn't need to change. We've run the football, and that's a quarterback's best friend, no matter how you're doing it. Again, Dylan's as capable as anyone to be able to run the football. Is it flashy and necessarily and all that? No, it's not. But he's capable of doing it. But we need to keep him healthy, and there are other ways you can go about making up for the amount of carries or whatever it may end up being at the end of the year. But also, you never know how people are going to play year to year, and how they're going to defend you, and we'll just see as the year goes. But definitely we know we have to run the football and run it well, and it helps your defense. It helps your offense. It gets you in good down and distance situations. and those are things that helps you first down, make first downs, third down percentage. We've been very, very good with all those numbers the last handful of years because we've been able to run the football and get ourselves in good down and distance percentage situations.
Well, does Dylan have a chance to be the best pocket passer you've worked with here?
Oh yeah, Connor wasn't too bad himself. Perception's a funny thing. How it goes. I mean, Connor threw the ball very well from the pocket a lot of times, and Dylan's made some good throws on the run. Nobody ever wants to talk about him throwing on the run. So we just hope Dylan's the next good quarterback for us, and he is a good quarterback, and he's getting his chance this year, and we'll see how it goes, but. He's got a great command of the offense and how it's supposed to be run, and look forward to getting going on the 28th.
Since Steve's been here, the offenses have changed, the play calling has changed a lot when you came in and when Sean came in. What now? Do you see this as continuing to evolve, or do you guys feel like you have a pretty good base and know what you want to do?
Well, we got a base. We're all on the same page. And I think that goes back to, earlier question about Coach Spurrier and his longevity and all that. I think, all the guys who impress you or impress, us as coaches, are the guys that have longevity, and the guys that do are the guys that are willing to maybe throw some new wrinkles, and the guys who are consistently looking to learn and get better and make their teams better. So I think it's always an evolving process. Anything that can make us better. We always study stuff in the off season, go meet with other coaches, other teams, and see if there's something out there we can do better, and then more importantly add. But I think the basis of it is got a pretty good grasp of what we want to do and what we need to do to be successful.